bit excited for this review, as a lot of people have been waiting for this for quite some time. You see, crossovers are a staple on Philippine roads, and obviously they offer more cargo and interior space than that of your average sedan. But if you take the comfort of your average sedan and add to it a frugal diesel engine, well then, you just may have a winner chicken dinner. Meet the 2018 Honda CR-V, and the big change? It's a diesel. Since August of last year, people have been kind of divided about this car. Half of them are like, ooh, noise, while the other half are like, I'm sorry, what kind of an engine did you put in there? Because at the heart of the CR-V is a 1.6 liter turbo diesel. Now, it only produces 120 horses, which obviously is not a lot, I agree with you, but people tend to forget that it also produces 300 Newton meters of torque, and plus that torque is available right off the bat at 2,000 RPM. You may think it's a meager 1.6 engine, but you wouldn't say that about a Formula 1 car, would you? Now granted, it doesn't go 300 kilometers per hour. I guess not many cars do, but what I'm trying to get at is that the engine will surprise you. It is pretty powerful. Malakas. Power is fed in smartly throughout the 9-speed transmission. Yes, you heard me right, 9-speed transmission. So, with all things considered, if you put 2 and 2 together, this thing should get some pretty astronomical figures for consumption on the highway that could probably rival even SpaceX. I kid. So anyway, for real, it gets about 23 kilometers on the highway. Now in the city is where it gets really impressive, because this thing, even through rush hour traffic, we were able to get 10 kilometers per liter. That's impressive. Oh, most impressive. Oh. And now onto the exterior. Solid wing face is where we'll begin. First off, you've got a very bold new grille with a honeycomb design, paired with very slim LED headlamps, which have LED DRLs as well. You've got a very strong bumper, and more importantly, fog lamps that resemble Turbo Teen's transforming eyes. Now, I realize that's a bit of an old reference, but if you look it up, I promise you, you won't regret it. The wheel wells are reminiscent of the older generation, albeit the fairings are a bit wider. Moving down, we've got the camera over here on the right-hand side mirror, which activates every time you indicate to the right. Continuing down the side, you've got chrome accents on the bottom, which are a nice continuation from the fog lamps up front, which I think do it justice because it complements the 18-inch mags. The rear greets you with a massive outstretched chrome accent above what is again slim lights. The cut found directly underneath gives the tailgate a slender illusion, which is pretty much countered by the large L-shaped rear lamps. Before we get onto the cargo hold, there is an aspect from up front that's mimicked here at the back. It's these lines that can be found on either side. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about them because I don't think they're there for aerodynamics, more of aesthetics. And they're not the prettiest things on the planet. They're not the ugliest things. I mean, they're not like Anthony Davis's eyebrows, which are like, oh, nothing like that. But I don't know, I'm just still kind of getting used to it. Now, onto the back. Power tailgate, we love it. However, limited cargo space, that's a bit of a downer. See, there's an elevated area. This elevated area subtracts 50 liters of cargo space from the previous generation, down to 472 liters. But this elevated area also translates to seats 6 and 7. Aha! More on that a little bit later. Once inside, you're greeted by a very premium interior. Top notch, really. If it looks familiar, spot on. It's almost a carbon copy of the very well-appointed Civic. Down to the tri-cluster instruments, to the very tactile buttons on the steering wheel, to the 7-inch infotainment system which doubles as the reverse camera. Then you've got your air controls and panoramic sunroof. Now for the leather-clad seats, oh, plus power? Yeah, they really work. As do the accents found on the door and the dash. Very nice. The biggest difference, the elimination of the gear lever. It's been replaced by 4 very well-suited buttons. Now, does it take some time to get used to? Not really. Plus, it gives the entire interior and the whole cabin really a very upmarket and futuristic feel that even Captain Sulu would be proud. Here at the back, the seats are as supple and as firm as those up front, and there is boatloads of room, and I mean really boatloads of room. Now the toys back here include 2 cup holders in the center armrest and 2 USB charging ports found down here, which are 2.5 amperes each. Now, considering today's electronics and the requirements, that's already a small win. The big win is that not only are there vents down here up front, there are also vents up here on top. And it doesn't stop there, because you've got side curtain airbags and 2 speakers on each door. Now, for a car of this price in this category, that's pretty impressive. Oh, one last thing. This seat, or seats, move forward for a very good reason. And finally, that third row. As you'd guessed, the access to get back here is just about average. And the jump seats, well, they're big enough for children or small adults like myself. Now, as mentioned earlier, the second row does have to move forward to allow any form of passengers back here. Now, as a small adult, I'm okay. I'm guessing you're wondering what it's like for maybe a 5'11" intern.
No.
But what is surprising are the continuation of toys found back here for the third row, such as cup holders, the continuation of airbags from up front all the way back here, and 2 extra air vents. That's a total of 6 air vents just for the back. Now, I'm not saying it's cold enough to freeze a tauntaun back here, but hey, could be close. Driving the CR-V, you will notice that it is a very comfortable car to be in, both as driver and passenger. The steering, heavy but not that heavy, just about right, and stiffens up a little bit more when on the highway. The suspension, very good, absorbs bumps way more than within reason. But don't take my word for it. MVV rating says... Oh, as an added plus, we're on a road right now with a speed bump that we're going to pass in 3, 2, 1. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I don't tell people to do that. I'm just trying to prove to you how soft the suspension is. About the only thing that surpasses the comfort of the CR-V are the amount of technologies found on the CR-V. And you can start off by talking about the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep technology, which are both a trip. See, once the system is turned on, you will of course be set at the desired speed that you want, be it 100 kilometers per hour to stay within the speed limit, or maybe a little bit faster. We don't advise that, of course. But once you are at that level of speed, if there is a car in front of you that slows down, the car will automatically brake, and believe it or not, the brake pedal will actually even go down and slow down accordingly. Once that car clears, you will again resume that speed. Now, the lane keep technology, that's pretty cool too. See, as the car sways either to the left or to the right, you'll see that the lights flash, gives you a little bit of a tone, and tells you that a steering correction is needed. Now, if you don't touch it, you will kind of slide back in, but of course, steering corrected with your hands on the steering wheel is always advised. The CR-V diesels start north of 1.6 million pesos, and this particular SX variant comes in at 2,086,000 Philippine pesos. Now, before you lose your mind, allow me to empathize with you and agree that there are Korean counterparts out there that offer the same type of engine for hundreds of thousands of pesos less. I completely agree. However, if you consider transmission, ride comfort, technology, all-wheel drive, basically the whole package, then you gotta agree that the CRV is a cut above the rest. Might I also add that its Japanese counterparts are more expensive and they can offer less technology and even a gasoline engine. Now granted, it's not as sexy as these Japanese counterparts, true. I mean, people aren't gonna run to the CRV and take a selfie with it. Yeah, but if they knew what it had to offer on the inside, yeah, they might just line up with their cell phones hanging out.